Did you know that the most agonizing betrayal you've ever faced was written in the stars long before you were born? Look at your birth chart. Find the symbol of the black crescent moon over a cross. That is Black Moon Lilith. It is not a planet. It is a void, an empty point of absolute darkness. Science calls it the lunar apogee, but the soul knows it as the black hole of identity. If you feel like a constant outcast, if those you trusted most have turned their backs on you, or if you feel an inexplicable void in your chest, despite your achievements, Lilith is speaking. She is the shadow of the matrix, the part of you that refused to kneel to false idols. You aren't being punished by the universe. You are being stripped of everything that is not you. I know the cold sting of that silence. The moment you realize the person you loved was just a mirror for your greatest fear. You feel lost, drifting in a digital wasteland where everyone else seems to have a map except you. This is the shadow hook. The Matrix wants you to believe you are broken. It wants you to stay in the victim cycle, mourning the ghosts of people who were never meant to stay. But listen closely. Lilith is the gatekeeper of your ultimate freedom. She represents the primal power you suppressed to fit in. Every betrayal was a controlled demolition of your ego's prison. Welcome, seekers of the truth, to the Dharma veins. I am your content director, and for the next 10 minutes, I commit to showing you how to turn your greatest trauma into your greatest weapon. We are going to dive deep into the anatomy of your shadow, merging ancient Buddhist emptiness with the dark psychology of Lilith. Do not click away. Your rebirth requires you to face the void. Let us begin the surgery of the soul. To understand why you were betrayed, we must first perform surgery on the very concept of trust within the matrix. Most people view betrayal as an external accident, a glitch in a relationship, or a stroke of bad luck. But in the realm of Black Moon Lilith, there are no accidents, only resonance. You were not betrayed because you were too good. You were betrayed because you were vibrating on a frequency of unconscious expectation. Lilith represents the rejected parts of your soul, the raw, untamed power you traded for a seat at the table of social acceptance. When you suppress your Lilith, you create a vacuum. And the universe, abhorring a vacuum, fills that space with a person who will eventually mirror your self-rejection through betrayal. The pain you feel right now is the sound of your false identity, cracking under the pressure of your own hidden truth. I see the scars on your spirit. You gave your loyalty to someone who treated it like trash. You feel like a ghost in your own life, wandering through a digital mist of why me? And how could they? But let me tell you something. The Matrix will never admit. Your pain is a diagnostic tool. It is the only thing sharp enough to cut through the layers of ego delusion you've built over lifetimes. This betrayal was the universe's most compassionate act of violence. It was a surgical strike designed to sever your umbilical cord to the approval of others. You are mourning a version of yourself that was never real, a version that needed someone else to tell you that you are worthy. Lilith doesn't want your tears. She wants your awakening. She wants you to realize that the person who stabbed you in the back was actually the one who unlocked your handcuffs. Now, look closely at the ruins of your broken trust. Stop trying to glue the pieces back together. In the next few minutes, I am going to deconstruct the law of reciprocity and show you why being a good person is often the greatest trap in the game of karma. We are moving from the emotional wreckage to the cold, hard logic of the soul's anatomy. If you want to stop the cycle of being an energetic doormat, you must understand the mechanics of how your shadow attracts its own executioner. We are about to enter the evidence stack, where science meets the void. Stay focused. Your evolution depends on this clarity. Let's stop the spiritual bypass and look at the cold, hard data of your suffering. In the realm of quantum resonance, Black Moon Lilith acts as a gravitational singularity within your bioelectric field. When ancient Buddhist texts speak of avidya or fundamental ignorance, they are describing the exact mechanism of Lilith. Science calls it cognitive dissonance, but in the evidence stack, we call it the vibration of the void. If your Lilith is in the 7th house of partnerships, you aren't just unlucky in love. You are biologically tuned to detect and attract people who carry the specific frequency of betrayal that you haven't integrated within yourself. You are a radio station playing a song of self-sacrifice, and predators are simply the listeners who tune in to eat. The Buddha taught that all suffering stems from attachment to a false self. Your betrayal feels like a jagged blade because you attached your identity to the idea of loyalty from a matrix-bound entity. Neurologically, your brain processes social rejection in the same area it processes physical pain, the anterior cingulate cortex. You are not weak for hurting. You are experiencing literal system crash. But here is the logic: a system only crashes when it's running obsolete software. The betrayal is the force quit command from the universe. It is the only way to clear the cache of your soul and stop the loop of repetitive karmic failure. To stop being the prey, you must become the void. You must move from blind trust to radical awareness. In the next segment, I will show you exactly how a woman named Helen used this exact logic to stop her cycle of ruin. Pay attention to the shift in her frequency, because it is the blueprint for your survival. Meet Helen. At 32, she was the ultimate good person. She gave her life to a partner and a corporation, only to be discarded by both in a single week. She found herself standing on a bridge, looking at the black water, feeling the crushing weight of her Lilith in Scorpio, the archetype of ultimate betrayal. She thought she was a victim of corporate greed and infidelity. She was wrong. She was a victim of her own light, only delusion. She had spent years suppressing her shadow, her anger, and her boundaries, effectively painting a target on her back for every predator in the matrix. I want you to feel the moment she stepped back from that ledge. Not because someone saved her, but because she realized that the Helen who was betrayed had to die anyway. She sat in the silence of the void for 40 days. She stopped asking, why did they do this? And started asking, what part of me gave them the permission? She faced her Lilith. She embraced the dark, untamed power she had been told was sinful. She realized that her compassion without a sword was just an invitation for slaughter. She integrated her shadow, and the moment she did, the predators in her life literally vanished. They no longer recognized her frequency. Helen didn't just survive. She became the architect of her own reality. Her story is not a miracle. It is a mechanical certainty of shadow integration. If you are ready to stop weeping over the ruins and start building your throne, stay with me. We are moving into the final vow, the exact protocol to weaponize your Lilith and close the door on betrayal forever. The time for observation is over. The time for integration is now. To weaponize your Black Moon Lilith, you must perform a radical act of sacred defiance against the Matrix. This is not a meditation. It is a recalibration of your subatomic frequency. Tonight, when the world falls silent, find a space where you are utterly alone. Sit in the posture of the unshakable Buddha, spine straight, heart open, breath deep. Inhale for 4 seconds, drawing the black mist of your deepest betrayal into your lungs. Do not reject it. Do not fear it. Hold that breath for 4 seconds and visualize that black mist meeting the golden light of your innate Buddha nature at the center of your chest. This is the alchemy of the void. Feel the heat. That burning sensation in your chest isn't pain. It's the friction of your old ego being incinerated by your new power. As you exhale for 4 seconds, release a frequency of Vajra, silence. A silence so profound that no manipulator can find a foothold in your reality. You are training your nervous system to stop reacting to the ghost signals of past traumas. You are telling your DNA that you are no longer a victim seeking shelter, but a void that consumes all shadows. Repeat this cycle 7 times. With each breath, you are reclaiming a piece of the soul you traded for the illusion of safety. Action now. Direct your inner gaze to the exact point on your birth chart where Lilith resides. Speak to her, not as a demon, but as your most loyal guardian who had to hurt you to save you. Ask her to show you the sword of discernment. This protocol is your manual for the new world. Carry this silence with you like a hidden weapon. In the final moments of this journey, we will seal this frequency with the sacred vow, the word that ends all betrayals. Place your right hand over your heart and your left hand open to the universe. You are now standing at the threshold of the great wealth transfer of the soul. Repeat these words in the silence of your mind. Let them vibrate through your bones. I am the void. I am the light. I am the shadow that reveals the truth. I revoke all contracts of suffering. I dissolve all debts of validation. I am no longer available for betrayal, because I have found the loyalty of my own spirit. Feel the weight of the matrix falling off your shoulders like digital dust. You are officially offline from the game of victims and predators. Look at the version of you that started this video, the one who was bleeding from the wounds of broken trust. Forgive that person. They didn't have the map. They didn't have the sword. But you do. You are the survivor of a spiritual war that most people don't even know is happening. The light surrounding you now is not a gift from above. It is the radiance of your own integrated darkness. You are finally whole. You are finally free. The silence you feel right now is the most powerful sound in the universe. It is the sound of a soul that has finally come home to itself. Go forth now, not as a good person looking for love, but as a sovereign entity radiating the power of the black moon. The matrix will try to test you, but it will find nothing to grab onto. If this transmission has reconnected your veins to the truth, leave a vow in the comments below. Seal your frequency. Share this with one soul who is still lost in the dark. I am your content director, and your journey into the light of the void has only just begun. Namaste.